My best friend turned on again slash off again lover has been the most beautiful, toxic, confusing part of my life for 7 years. After everything we've been through, fights, sex, betrayal, she finally confessed she hooked up with a married man with kids and now says we can never even be friends unless I date her again. 2021 started like any other year, except that everything between me and G, my best friend of 7 years, began to shift. We were part of a tight-knit group of friends, the kind who'd grown up together through heartbreaks, exams, bad jobs, and worse hangovers. She'd always been that person I could call at 3 a.m. without thinking twice. There had never been any sexual tension, no awkward energy, until there was. It happened one night at a party she hosted. She was drunk, rambling about her ex, saying things like, "He ruined dating for me, and I just want to feel wanted again." I arrived late, and somehow her frustration turned toward me. She leaned in to kiss me, and I stopped her, not because I didn't want to but because it felt wrong. She was drunk, and I was still hung up on my own ex. It was messy, and we both knew it. But a few weeks later, when I started to heal from my breakup, I began noticing her differently. The little things, the way she teased me, how easily she laughed around me started to mean something. I told her I was attracted to her, but wasn't ready for a relationship. She said she understood, and for a few weeks we became something halfway between friends and lovers. We'd kiss, cuddle, and spend nights together doing everything but sex. Then she told me she wanted more a relationship. I told her I couldn't do that. She respected it and ended things immediately. It hurt, but I knew it was the right thing. A few months passed. She confessed she still loved me, and one night she leaned in again. This time, I didn't feel it. I said no. We didn't talk for a month. When we finally did, it was as friends again. Just friends. That was always the cycle with us, intense, messy, and then reset. By 2022, we were both single again and had started our first full-time jobs. Life was steady, predictable, boring, and that's when she started slipping back into my heart. She'd bring me lunch when I worked late, check in on me every morning, push me to be better. She believed in me when I didn't. Somewhere between all that care and comfort, I fell for her, genuinely this time. So I asked her out properly, and she said yes, without hesitation. It felt like the right thing. But love doesn't always work the way you hope. Our relationship started breaking apart slowly, almost cruelly. The first crack came with intimacy. I had never had penetrative sex before, and when things didn't work out physically, I felt ashamed. She didn't handle it well either. She was experienced, and her frustration made me shut down even more. Instead of encouragement, there were sighs, tension, and silence. Soon, every day became a fight. She compared herself to my ex constantly, even though I never once brought her up. She'd say things like, "You still think about her, don't you?" Or, "You were happier with her." I started feeling drained. Like no matter what I said, she wouldn't believe I loved her. And maybe, deep down, I was starting to doubt it too. Eventually, I stopped trying. I went cold. I let things fizzle out because I didn't have the energy to fight anymore. When she finally broke up with me, I almost felt relieved, not because I didn't care, but because the version of us we'd become was exhausting. We didn't talk for a month after that. But because we share the same group of friends, silence wasn't really an option. Slowly, without meaning to, we drifted back into each other's orbits. Laughing again, teasing again, pretending like the whole messy year hadn't happened. 2023 felt like a reset button for me and G. After everything that happened between us, we somehow managed to rebuild our friendship into something strong, simple, and comfortable. We supported each other through everything: work stress, bad dates, family drama. For once, things felt easy. We were just best friends again. No tension, no blurred lines. Or at least that's what I told myself. Early that year, during a friend's vacation, we got a little drunk and ended up making out. It happened again a few months later. Both times, it was spontaneous, emotional, and then instantly buried under silence. We never talked about it. We just acted like nothing happened. By August, I started dating someone new, F, a 23-year-old I met through mutual friends. F was amazing. She was gentle, funny, and made me feel seen in a way I hadn't before. For the first time, I had a relationship that felt healthy and stable. She helped me overcome insecurities I'd carried from my past with G, especially around intimacy. We were great together, emotionally and physically. I genuinely thought I was moving forward. G seemed genuinely happy for me. She even started dating a guy in December, and I didn't feel any jealousy. Everything between us felt balanced for the first time in years. But 2024 changed things. G broke up with her boyfriend around April or May. She was upset, sure, but she handled it well. Meanwhile, my relationship with F started to fall apart. Around June, she fell into a deep depression and pulled away from everyone, including me. We barely talked, barely saw each other. We slept together maybe once in that entire period. I tried everything, giving her space, showing up, staying patient, but nothing worked. The emotional wall between us got higher, and by August, she ended things. Here's the truth I haven't said out loud. While things were falling apart with F, I started thinking about G again, physically, not romantically. I didn't flirt or cross a line, but the thoughts were there, constant and confusing. I told myself it was just nostalgia, comfort, or maybe loneliness. But it felt real. After F and I broke up, G and I both found ourselves single again. We naturally drifted back into our old dynamic, texting every day, calling late at night, laughing about stupid things. It felt good, easy, familiar. Around October, I met someone new, Kay. She was 24, smart, and effortlessly funny. I was instantly drawn to her, but when she mentioned she had a boyfriend, I backed off immediately. I even told her I'd been interested, but respected her boundaries. We stayed friends, nothing more. Then came December. Another friend's trip, another round of drinks and nostalgia. One night, G and I were sitting close, laughing about some dumb inside joke, and suddenly it just happened. She leaned in, kissed me, and I kissed her back. It felt like all the years of tension between us had been building toward that moment. We ended up having sex that night, then again the next day, and again after that. When the trip ended, we didn't talk about it. No emotional unpacking, no awkward follow-up. We just pretended nothing had happened. 2025 started off strange. I went to G's place one evening. We were watching something on her couch, talking like we always did. There was a moment of silence, and without thinking, I leaned in to kiss her.
She stopped me.
I froze, mumbled an apology, and instantly felt stupid. Things were awkward for a couple of days, but as usual, we bounced back to normal, pretending nothing happened. A week later, she hugged me out of nowhere. It caught me off guard because she's never been the affectionate type. I hugged her back, gently, not wanting to read too much into it. That night, she texted me saying she might be developing some feelings for me. But she wasn't sure, and I told her I didn't want a relationship right now either. So, we left it hanging there, half open, unresolved, typical of us. A few days later, I went to the movies with Kay. It was completely platonic. We're both film nerds and wanted to catch Nosferatu. G called me mid-movie, she often does, and I didn't pick up. Later I told her I was with Kay, thinking it was nothing. But she blew up, said I should have told her before, that no guy and girl can be just friends, and accused Kay of emotionally cheating on her boyfriend with me. I was stunned. We fought hard but eventually made peace, like always. But my head wasn't at peace. My attraction to G was spiraling. Every time we hung out, every time she laughed or touched my arm, I found myself imagining more. I knew she didn't love me, but I couldn't stop wanting her. So one day, stupidly and selfishly, I asked her if we could have sex again. She hesitated, said it would complicate things, but eventually agreed. Before we did, she told me she had hooked up with someone recently and felt guilty. It didn't bother me, honestly, but when it happened, it was bad. Mechanical. She kept saying she wanted to treat it like a hookup, whatever that meant. Afterward, we made out a few more times, mostly because I initiated once or twice because she did. Despite all that, we were still close. We shared everything, work troubles, family stuff, random life updates. I was the one who helped her get her current job back in 2023, and she always showed up for me emotionally. She's one of the smartest people I know, and even when she drives me insane, I can't deny how much she's helped me grow. But then something shifted in me. The attraction turned into something heavier. I started getting jealous, insecure about where she was, who she was with. I knew she had been seeing other guys, probably hooking up. She admitted to one, but I sensed there were more from the way she talked. It shouldn't have mattered. We weren't together, but it did. And that's when I realized I wasn't just attracted to her. I still loved her. So I told her I wanted to try again, to date for real this time, to commit, to finally make it right. She exploded. She dragged out every wound from our past, every mistake, every fight, every version of me she hated. She accused me of being emotionally absent, of never understanding her. She brought up the movie with Kay, said I was untrustworthy, selfish, and impossible to love. I just sat there listening, trying to defend myself, hoping she'd calm down. Then, in the middle of it all, she said something that cut deep. She told me she hooked up with other men because of me, because I made her feel unwanted. It crushed me. I honestly don't even know how I've ended up here again. Every time I think things with G have reached the final, catastrophic end, somehow we circle back, drawn to each other like two people addicted to chaos. I've never felt this emotionally drained in my life, and yet, a part of me still can't fully let her go. So here's where things spiraled, again. We were on yet another vacation with our friends. At this point, it's almost a joke. Every time we travel, something happens between us that ends up wrecking me for months. The first day, everyone was teasing me to get a massage. You know the kind. They were relentless, and even G joined in. I told her, half joking but mostly serious, that I only wanted her, that I wasn't interested in random hookups. She looked straight at me and said, I don't want to have sex with you anymore. I brushed it off, laughed it away, but that stung. Eventually, the whole group went to a spa, and yes, me and another friend got a happy ending, fully consensual. When G found out, she completely lost it. She was fuming, sulking, snapping at everyone, basically killing the vibe for the entire trip. I kept trying to explain that it wasn't serious, that I didn't cheat on anyone because, hello, I'm single, but she wouldn't hear it. She said she couldn't stand seeing me with another woman. I wanted to scream that she was the one who didn't want me, but instead, I just tried to calm her down. That night, she suddenly kissed me. Just like that. No warning, no words, just heat and confusion. I should have stopped her, but of course, I didn't. It's always the same story with us. Over the next few days, we ended up having sex. A lot of it. Every single day. And it wasn't even the good, connected kind. It was desperate, angry, confusing. One night, she literally pushed me into it, even though I said I was exhausted. Another night, she got upset because she hadn't orgasmed and started another argument. I was losing my mind, caught between attraction, guilt, and resentment. Then came the final night. We met two women at a bar, and were hanging out with them casually, just talking, drinking. G was clearly jealous, but trying to hide it. Then, out of nowhere, she accused me of trying to make out with one of the women. Before I could even react, she slapped me. Twice. Right there, in public. Something in me snapped. I hit her back once, not hard, but still, it happened. Immediately, people started staring, some even shouting. It was raining. We were both drunk, yelling in the middle of the street while my friends tried to pull us apart. I apologized right away, told her nothing happened, that I hadn't touched anyone. But she wasn't hearing it. She screamed at me, cursed me, said I'd humiliated her. Eventually, my friends dragged her inside a bar to calm down. A few minutes later, I saw her flirting with random guys, laughing, dancing, and then she kissed one of them, right in front of everyone. I felt sick, angry, embarrassed, heartbroken all at once. But at least she wasn't yelling anymore, so I stayed quiet. Later that night, she started hanging on to me again, hugging, kissing, trying to prove to those same girls that I was hers. I didn't even have the energy to argue. She told me she liked me out of nowhere, and I, like a fool, asked her about the guy she kissed. She brushed it off, said she was drunk and didn't know what she was doing. Then she pushed me to have sex again that night, and I gave in. When we got back home, she said she wanted to get back together. I told her no, that she'd traumatized me too much in the past few months. She cried for hours, saying she loved me, that we were meant for each other, that she couldn't lose me again. She guilt-tripped me so hard that I finally said fine, we'll try again for a month or two, see if we can make it work. But I made her promise, no yelling, no hitting, no chaos. She agreed immediately. And honestly, for a while things were great. We talked properly, resolved conflicts like adults, and the sex was amazing, probably the best it's ever been. I actually started to believe that maybe, after everything, we could find some kind of peace. I hadn't fully fallen back in love, but I was close. I was trying. Then last night happened. We had a small disagreement about something stupid, and in the middle of the conversation, I don't even know why, I asked her who she'd hooked up with before we got back together. She froze. Said it was too embarrassing, that it wasn't anyone I knew. I told her she didn't have to tell me, that it didn't matter, but she looked so guilty that I knew there was more. Finally, she told me. One of the guys was a married colleague, with 2 kids. My heart sank. She said it happened in 2023, that she regretted it deeply, that she didn't know why she did it. The other guy was her ex's best friend, and she said he forced her while she was drunk, but that she stopped it before it went all the way. The third one, she'd already told me about months ago, and I didn't really care about that. But the married man, that one wrecked me. I tried to stay calm, tried not to react, but inside, I was disgusted. Not just at her, but at myself, for still wanting to love her despite everything. She noticed my silence. Later, she asked if I loved her, and I couldn't answer. She broke down again, saying I was cold, that my lack of reaction meant I didn't care. I finally told her the truth. I couldn't process what she told me. That I wasn't judging her, but I couldn't pretend it didn't bother me. She started crying, saying she was a terrible person, that she hates herself for what she did, that she loves me and would never do anything like that again. Then she said something that honestly scared me a little. We can never be friends again if we don't get into a relationship. She begged me to forgive her, to give us another chance, to not walk away this time. I told her I needed time. She cried harder, said she couldn't handle losing me again. And that's where I'm at now.